It is time for the Dragon Ball villains tier list. Here we go. First off, we got Hit from Dragon Ball Super. Pretty cool. I liked him more than Jiren. Ultimately kind of a bland character design. Definitely could have done more with him. I think placing him in the middle for now is fair. We have Dabura, who is basically Lucifer. Not exactly sure like why he's like a Majin guy. They never really explain him, which kind of makes him cooler. Like visually, he just looks incredibly cool. Cool concept. Don't know why they had him just get smoked. His spit attack was really cool. For coolness, he ranks high. He doesn't do much in the story, sadly. Alright, interesting order they have these in. Next we have Spopovich and the other guy. So Spopovich was awesome. He beat the snot out of Videl. He just pounds her. Just relentlessly beats the crap out of her, and everyone just has to watch. It's kind of funny when it happens. Ultimately, he's just being mind controlled to be more evil. He'll probably end up low A. Just Spopovich. Don't remember what the other guy even did. Let's move on to Android 19, I believe it is. Who pretty cool visually. Ultimately doesn't accomplish that much within the story. Just kind of like there when Dr. Gero is. Would have liked to have seen a little more out of 19. We got Goku Black. Don't shoot. That man isn't black, as as Trunks would say. Crazy, very funny part in Dragon Ball Super because he's saying this to the police. It's very weird. Goku Black, one of those really cool concepts. A concept that I've been talking about personally for years and years and years. That the villain that ultimately should dominate the Z Fighters is Goku himself. I think it would be really cool if they had Vegeta kind of get tired of Goku's carelessness with him allowing people to die, him giving Cell a senzu bean, him putting everything at risk so recklessly, just for what seems to be kind of like selfish purposes. Like, if you think about it, Vegeta's nearly as strong and also like this defender who's put his life on the line, who's lost his life, protecting the earth and beyond, and he's just subject to Goku's whims that are often extremely reckless, and allowing Goku to be the strongest person is kind of irresponsible in a way. So for a long time I've been saying that Goku should be the villain. Goku Black, which I assume this is Goku Black, I would have liked to have seen kind of more of that, and I would have liked to have seen him be around longer and be like noticeably far above regular Goku. Dodoria, I believe this guy's name is. One of Frieza's main henchmen. Pretty cool guy. Probably put him here. He does a fair bit. Is that Raccoon from the Ginyu Force? Ginyu Force was pretty cool, kind of I wish they had done more. I mean, it's cool. I like that in the Frieza saga that the Z Fighters have to actually beat, like, basically an army. But the individual members of the Ginyu Force could have stood out a little more. Maybe had a little bit more, a little bit more of an edge. This guy I don't remember the name of. I'm gonna have to put him in C tier. We've got Buhan, or Evil Boo, or I forget which Boo. There's a lot of Boos. He's up there. He's probably the most, like, cool looking Boo. Broly, the legendary Super Saiyan. So hard to rank this guy, whether or not he's the legendary Super Saiyan from the Dragon Ball Z movies, which is what's being shown in the picture, or if he is the, like, non-villain from the Super movies. I'm gonna say he's from the Dragon Ball Z movies, which again, which makes him. Both Brolys are just an incredible concept. He is the legendary Super Saiyan. He doesn't talk. He's just kind of awesome. Considering the number of movies he's in, they could have done more with him. Not saying they should have made him talk, but maybe just given him more of a character in other ways. Probably higher than Boo. Frieza, just very well developed. The Crane Hermit, very well developed as well. Not as villainous as he could be. I'll put him high A. We got this little guy. I believe he's the Ginyu Force guy who can stop time, which was incredibly cool of an idea. All of the Ginyu Force deserved more time. This, like, Supreme Kai, something with a Z. He just isn't as interesting as Goku Black is. Not that Goku Black meets that potential as far as a character goes. I think I gotta place him here. He just isn't. He's just like a discount. He's like a sidekick of Goku Black, even though he ends up doing some cool stuff. We got Tao. Probably lower than some of these guys. He could have done more villainous stuff. Yeah, I think I feel good placing him there. This Goku, not sure what is the purpose of that. Maybe I'm mixing up. Maybe this isn't Goku Black and this is. Not certain. You got Garlic Jr. Probably one of my least favorite, like, villains who gets a decent amount of screen time. Now that I think about it, why is Hit even on here as a villain? Real weird. I'll put him below the Ginyu Force guys. Nappa doesn't doesn't get to do enough. I think Nappa and Raditz absolutely need to be brought back into the franchise. They're two Saiyans who served under Vegeta, and I feel like Vegeta could control them. Like, I feel like they should wish them back to life and just have them work for Goku and Vegeta. And like, they're pretty dumb, and they would be incredibly useful if you could just unlock their potential, which Goku and Vegeta are good at doing that for people now. But Nappa's really cool. He does a lot of damage, ruthless, probably just below Tao. This goat guy, barely there, barely remember him. Cell. Cell is really cool, but I feel like he could be a lot more villainous. Like, he's kind of like this like counter Goku. Like, he just wants to have the best fight that he can. And in a way, we never really learn his motivations other than he wants to fight. He just isn't that villainous at all. He's kind of just like a baller who balls out. And that's gonna put him lower. We got TN. Cool, but he's not a villain for long enough for it to be that interesting. And even when he is, you can tell he's like, literally in this picture, you got the Crane Hermit behind him. You can kind of tell he's not actually a villain, which really just takes so much away from him. Same with Chaozu. I saw that Chaozu is on here. Like, not certain why. Kind of an odd choice. Let's go right to Jiren. Jiren's great in certain ways. Like, it's good to have somebody who isn't a Saiyan or kind of like a repeated villain. Not just Frieza again, somebody who like actually is stronger than people and isn't just, doesn't feel like rehashed. But that's more of a storytelling thing than a character. As a character, he has a very basic design and just a high level of not interesting. I like him less than Hit. I like him less than the Ginyu Force. I like him about the level of Garlic Jr. And again, how is he even a villain? Piccolo, S tier, gets a ton of development, has a lot going on about him. You get a lot of his attitude as to why he's a villain, which makes him plenty villainous. This guy, I think, is Broly's dad or King Vegeta. Again, is he even truly a villain? I might be mixing that up with somebody else, but here we go. I think this guy's also in the Ginyu Force. Vegeta S. Majin Buu, which is very different. Majin Buu is kind of like more so a force of nature, a joyful one who just likes to eat too much. He's like a fish in a way that will just eat too much. And he gets defeated by Hercule until the lunatic Van Zant comes out of nowhere and takes a shot at his dog. I mean, ultimately, Kid Buu is defeated by Hercule, which I don't know why people never talk about that. Hercule literally assists Goku in charging the Spirit Bomb and getting everybody on Earth to help charge the Spirit Bomb. That's pretty important. Like, just that entire arc, Hercule does so much to make it, to assist the Z Fighters. Like, he is a Z Fighter at that point. But let's sort out the Boos. Majin Buu, Force of Nature. A little bit like, Cell is just a douche. Majin Buu is just a dude with really, really cool abilities. Just ultimately not that villainous. Kid Buu is like the same as Evil Buu or whatever, but Kid Buu is just not as cool. The Red Ribbon Army. High A. Variety of villains. Well established, interesting. Way more going on. Like, you have Tao in there. You have, like, androids. Ginyu Force, the other dude, I forget his power. He's, like, super fast or something. He's more memorable than this fella. Is this Frieza's dad? Who does, like, nothing besides just get smoked by Trunks. Yeah, I'd put him lower than the Ginyu Force. Zarbon or Zardon. He basically is in the Ginyu Force. I would say middle Ginyu Force. Captain Ginyu. Clearly better than the others. A lot like Cell, where he's just a bad dude, but kind of like cool in a way. Jace or whatever of the Ginyu Force. The best guy other than the captain there. Android 16. Again, possibly not even a villain. Definitely a character that should be brought back. I heard that he's Dr. Giro's son. Where to put him? Probably higher than Hit. Got King Piccolo, which is different than the reincarnation of Piccolo. That kind of switches things up quite a bit. Bobbity. Bobbity goes around possessing people, getting them to do bad. He created Majin Buu. Pretty cool character. Very unique to the franchise. I'm going to put him up here, high A. Did way more villainous stuff than a lot of people. Same with Dr. Gero. Very smart, powerful people. Yeah, I think Dr. Gero there works really well. $17. Never liked 17 at all. He's just kind of an extra guy who's there. He's just like friends with 16 and 18. I'll leave him there. Leave him by Jiren. Neither of them have a personality, really. 18. I mean, she's a villain for a minute. More so in Future Trunks' timeline. Really just kind of self-interested. A lot like Cell. I'll put her slightly above Cell. Raditz. I'll put him with Nappa. There's like nothing wildly different with those two. I think this is the initial evil Boo. Or he separates out from Boo and then consumes Boo. Something like that. Just not enough screen time to matter at all. Like possibly less screen time than, yeah, around these guys. Got the Emperor. Put him in S for now. Beerus. Definitely not S. I mean, he's a destroyer god. He's got other like jobs. Like he's not doing villainous stuff just to be a villain. I mean, he clearly does sometimes because he talks about it, and Whis kind of keeps him under control. But he's able to be kept under control by not just Whis. He kind of, I mean, he acts in self-interest and is reckless, just like Goku is. But I just can't really place him that highly because he's not that villainous. He's kind of like 17, but I would not put him that low, not by any means. I'll put him below the Ginyu Force. I'll put him by Frieza's dad. So there is. We'll just have to sort out this S tier really quick. We got the Emperor. Continually self-motivated. Talks down to his employees. Really villainous. Comic relief character, but that doesn't stop him from being villainous and continually obsessively pursuing Goku. Which, if at any point if he were successful, then any of these other like real heavy hitters would accomplish their goals. I think that's enough to keep him in S, but he's just too incompetent to put any higher. Now, Vegeta obviously stops becoming a villain. Most of the time we ever even experience Vegeta, he's not being a full-out villain. So maybe that puts him lower. Granted, Piccolo here, you could argue the same. Realistically, I think King Piccolo's the worst. We don't get nearly as much of him as we do with Frieza. Frieza can be like reasoned with. But maybe that makes Frieza worse because Frieza should be able to act better and doesn't. If I remember correctly, King Piccolo just really wants to take over the world. And he doesn't care how he gets it. I don't remember if he even wants to destroy the world. Whereas Frieza like wants to kill people, take their resources, enslave them. It's hard to beat Frieza in that aspect. I think I'm going to move Tien and Chaozu. They're just never actually villains at all. I mean, Tien does like take a cheap shot at Goku or whatever, but yeah, I think for pure reason of wanting to enslave people, Frieza just dominates. Not that, I mean, at the same time, Vegeta's like helps him do that for quite a while. But I feel like these other top three would enslave people. The reincarnation of Piccolo is just a little too easygoing and like clearly changed. And what's the word? Like struggling internally. Well, there's the list of the Dragon Ball villains. Hope you liked it. More to come. If you want me to make any kind of list, just suggest it and I probably will. Peace out.